Hello there and welcome. I'm Ole Brøgger, and if you're new here, I really hope I'll earn your subscription today. It is the holidays and it's Christmas night, and the previous last years I have made some Christmas related terrain. We got some orcs getting pulled by some goblins. I made that in 2023, and last year I made this goblin versus snowman fight. This year, I will make something for you, and it is something I've been working on for the last year and a half. I've been designing and done a lot of work, and now it is time to release the files. So we better get started. I've been working on a laser cut design for making buildings, and as you have seen in some of my previous videos, I have a prototype here from one of the houses I built. This house is made entirely out of foam and wooden dowels, and it was one of the first houses I ever built. But the most important thing is I want all my terrain and buildings to have playable interior. And this is what it looked like in this, and it's actually pretty good. It still had some flaws, but I think I can do that better. The design process has been a long way, and there is so many parts that I needed to adjust and make sure they would fit together. It has been trials and errors, and I have a huge amount of failed cuts. Just look at this. This is all the failed cuts I have made over the last 6 months. There is also some spare parts and usable stuff that is actually going to be built into maybe 2 or 3 houses, but I can still do a pretty quick build, and the plan is I want to build a whole village based on these laser cut parts and modules. I have a very good friend in the UK, and his name is Mike Moans. He's a Twitch streamer, YouTuber, and he makes great content with miniature painting. And I want to send him this first edition of my first cut. And this is the house I'm going to test assemble here in this video before I'm going to ship it to him. This is a Christmas present for Mike, and I hope he will build it on stream. I will also put in a couple of other stuff here that I won't show you in this video because that's going to be a surprise to him. But this box is custom made for Mike, and here is all the parts that are needed for this assembly. I am going to package this a lot better, but right now I just put in all the parts. This is the parts needed for the base floor. We have some wall locks on top here. We also got some walls, some half timber, doors, door casings, and this is the steps for the stairs that we actually have over here. You can assemble this almost without glue, but you will need to glue some parts, and especially when we get to the wallpapers. But the doors, they will need to be glued, but I don't want to do that on this specific model. I will leave that up to Mike himself. To assemble a door, we need 5 parts. And when you're gluing this, be aware not to put glue in the door hinge itself, then it won't be able to open. It can open in both directions, and this will just make it more flexible depending on how you're going to align this door. Without glue, it can almost be set here in. After the wallpaper, or if you have painted it, you can attach these door frames. on each side here on the door to cover up the nasty cuts you're probably going to make on the wallpaper. Now we have the stairs over here, and then I will put in a complete wall because I don't want it to cover a window. And while we are at it, this is actually the most difficult part to assemble. We have the stairs, and you will need to put in all these steps. And this is some of the 2mm cutouts. The staircase itself is 3mm plywood. I've only engraved the wood structure on one side, and this is one of the parts that I will also recommend you to glue, even though it has a pretty good press fit here. And this was the easy part. Now we just need to line up this other side, and that is one of the most difficult things. Just put a tiny drop of glue into each hole of the steps and it will stay assembled. We also have these connections between the walls. And here are all the locks for the walls. This is only for decoration and to keep the distance to the next floor. So you also will have these rafters. This is the prints that are included in the set that are needed for the wallpaper. And you can make your own, and you can get the sizes from this file. I've already cut all the pieces out in advance just to be nice to Mike and help him out to save him some time. The big one of the stucco here is for this plain wall. Very easy to install. And then you can put down this one here and the half timber for the window. Make sure the paper won't be visible in the window frame because I will recommend you painting this with a wood color so it will look like the same as the half timber. That is one floor done. Let's build the second floor. And before installing the walls in the whole build, install the inside wallpaper as well and glue in the window frame. And it's the same thing here. Don't put the paper on the window frame itself so you can paint this. And paint these before you glue them in. That's a lot easier. Second floor is the same procedure. You can put up some windows. It is primarily windows that are in all these walls. And then we have a railing for the top stairs. You can actually make the house as tall as you want. And there is included another staircase type for the second floor, so you can align it. It will have the railing built in the design. But this model is only with 2 floors, so I will put this on the top stair floor. And I would also glue it in, but it will line up here with the stairs. As you can see here, there is a tiny hole, and this is for lining up each floor. These are exactly 3 millimeters taller, so they will go right through this beam, and then you have a pretty sturdy house. Half timber here. You will have to glue in one of these, and then it will match the rest. Problem is, these are burnt on one side. So if you want to improve it, I am so lucky that I actually got some 3 millimeter dowels here. And I will put them in the box to Mike as well, because when these are painted, it's nice wood all around and they will fit in here perfectly, and you will get a very nice corner. Second floor is done. Now to the top roof. Here you can see it will also line up here perfectly. And then we got a ladder. You could glue it in if you wanted it, but I'll just put it in here. It would probably fall down. And then we have the gable here. I've made some stucco texture for that as well. This is how the gable will look like. We also have a wall to split it up. And you can put in a door as well. When everything is textured, either if it's paper or paint, I will recommend you to glue in this half timber, because then you have a wall segment. You don't have to glue it in here. And this is all the parts we need for the roof. I'll start with the roof ridge, just to get everything in place. I won't glue this because it is going to be disassembled again, since I will give Mike the honor to assemble this himself. But this is just to show you how this works. And then we have these rafters here, and everything will just click in place. And you have to make sure that everything here is flush, so the roof shingles won't be wobbly. But I will take this apart again, put it back in the box, and leave it up to Mike to glue this. And then I have this one, which is already assembled. Then we can put in some roof shingles. And I use a very thick glue because I want it to stick right away. And you need to start here from the bottom. You only need a tiny drop of glue, and this should actually be enough. And then I have some roof shingles here. Some super glue could be a good idea for the first set. If you just are patient, it will stay in place. I'll only do one side, and then we are practically done. And I almost forgot, we also have these roof ridge crosses. I don't know what it's called in English or even in Danish. And this time I actually have to cheat a bit, because I will use a tiny drop of super glue. With these roof shingles, you will have to start from below, because it is a pain to get the top roof shingle under, but I will have to do that. To be honest, I'm actually out of these roof shingles. I haven't cut enough. They don't take long, but my veneer stock is also out. Well, my microphone just suddenly turned off, but I'm going to glue in these roof ridge crosses, and then I actually decided to finish up the rest of the roof. I found one last board of veneer, so I could cut it out and finish up this roof. And this is how to assemble this little house. This is the basic model, and I will make some more updated modules that will fit into this. We need a balcony up here, for instance, and that will be in the next version. It is available down here below in my little store, and if you want, you can make as many copies as you like, and even if you want to sell them, it's okay with me. I just get this tiny fee for the files, and it will support my channel. I need a sip of coffee. Oh, this is my old mug. Well, maybe you already haven't noticed, but I've changed some of the visual identity here on this channel. Let's have a look at it. And this is how it looks. You can get this t-shirt in the store down below, and my new mug. If it doesn't kill you, it will give you XP, and it says the same here on the t-shirt. And my new logo is on the back side of this mug, and if it doesn't kill you, it will give you XP. It's an expression I always use when building my campaign for Dungeons and Dragons. But you can translate that into real life. Don't be afraid to do something new, try something new, and if it doesn't kill you, it will definitely give you more experience. I'm looking forward to see what Mike is doing with this house. This is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. And the last thing I have to say is happy holidays and have a Merry Christmas.